Welcome to Gospel Tangents, the best source for Mormon history, science, and theology. I'm Rick Bennett. In our final conversation with Drs. Richard and Claudia Bushman, we're going to talk about their latest project to encourage LDS artists. How did they get involved in that? So you'll love to hear our final part of our conversation with Drs. Richard and Claudia Bushman. Check it out. Well, I really appreciate your time, Claudia and Richard. Is there anything that we've missed that you'd like to address? Any projects you're working on? Oh, actually, I do have one more thing. I know you've been working on the art project, and I know Claudia has tried to add that into the Mormon History Association meetings. Can you talk about this arts program that you're working on?
17, we started a Center for Latter-day Arts in New York. And the aim was to educate ourselves better about Latter-day Saint arts, to recognize artists and give them credit, and to let the world get a better idea of just what Latter-day Saint artists are doing. So we've had festivals, we've had prize competitions. We're planning a big retrospective of Latter-day Saint visual art from the beginning to the present that will appear in New York and have filled the Church History Museum in 2024. We are sponsoring an arts event on June 18th of this year that will be based on BIPOC artists, our artists of color, and the gallery. And we'll celebrate two events: Juneteenth, which was when slaves in Texas heard that they were freed and has been celebrated by saints, and June 8th, which is the day that the priesthood ban was lifted. That was announced. So, and we've run a gallery in New York. The church gave us rent-free, a nice little space right in Lincoln Center opposite the Metropolitan Opera House and the New York Symphony Theater. And we've had shows changing every two months on many subjects involving Latter-day Saint art. And so we're doing our very best to reach all sorts of people, make them aware of art, make our intellectuals start thinking about art, and making knowledge of Minerva Teicher as important as knowledge of the handcart companies. And it's part of our history. And we have to recognize it and honor those artists and honor our artists today. So that's taken up a lot of our time. Both of us have been involved in it. And it's moving along. I think we've got a lot of support, financial, and a lot of people working on it. Church leaders seem to be thrilled with what we're doing, both locally and at the general level. So it's a big project, and we love it, and hope that it will continue on.
Do you have anything to add there, Claudia, on the arts project?
Well, I'm amazed that it is going as well as it is. We started it out fairly small, and Richard has just been tireless in raising money, which is a temple because it's not a thing. It's been doing so, but just to give you an idea of the sort of expensiveness there, we had this plan to open our big show, our big retrospective in a building that's very close to the Metropolitan Museum of Art, which costs $11,000 a day. Right. So we're glad to have it open for a month there now. See.
Wow, that's a lot. Where is this?
This is in New York City, kitty corner from the Metropolitan Museum of Art, which is on
Yeah, it's on Fifth Avenue in San Bernardino. It's a big, large mansion that now has been turned into an art institute. So we'll rent it for some period of time for our shit.
Do you think LDS art is getting better? I know some critics have complained that, especially like when with Joseph Smith translating the plates, he's putting his finger like he's going across line by line, and other people have tried to put him in a hat and, to be more historically accurate. Do you think LDS art is getting better than it has been? And can you address those issues of whether those artists intentionally led people astray on like the translation process and things like that?
There was no leading astray. There wasn't leading astray by church historians or church leaders or anyone. Everyone believed that he translated using the Urim and Thummim. Then gradually these other accounts came up of him looking at a stone in a hat. But the artist who has done more church history paintings than anyone, George Smith, painted him doing it one way, and then when he learned that the historians were giving us another point of view, he started doing it the other way. So I think we've come along pretty well in keeping up with the historical knowledge as it's been accepted by the church. So,
and we have more and more better painters. Really, we do.
Yeah. I mean, you're talking about the art as being historically accurate, but the question is the art artistically significant? And I think we're getting to the position where it is. And that we've got some pretty good artists doing some pretty lovely work. We just had a show on the sacred feminine in Mormon theology and art that had beautiful work depicting Mother in Heaven and trying to express feelings. So I think we're certainly getting a lot more art, huge amount of art being produced these days by Latter-day Saint artists around the world. And it's getting better, I think.
I was in the Church History Museum just a week or two ago, and one of the things that kind of struck me, we always think of Adam and Eve as very white, but these Adam and Eve had kind of a little color to them.
Yeah.
And so I was happy to see that.
Yeah, no, that's right. We're beginning to give a little ethnicity to people. One of our papers at the church, at the Mormon History Association meetings is going to be on the white Jesus and how we're beginning to depict Jesus with different ethnic hues. So I think those changes will occur.
Great. Well, is there anything we've missed? Anything you guys want to bring up? Any projects you're working on?
You've been very, very thorough. A lot going on. So I'll tell you about my gold plates book some other time.
Oh, you're working on a gold plates book like Don Bradley? It's not the last 116 pages or anything.
Yeah, he did the 116 pages. I'm talking about the history of the gold plates from 1823. No, before that time, down to the present. How they figure in fiction and trauma, how they figure in our culture, how they figure in national culture. So that's my project at the moment.
Any idea when that'll be published?
September 2023.
Oh, so in a year.
200th anniversary of Joseph Smith just finding the plates.
Oh, nice. Who's publishing that?
Oxford University Press.
Oxford. All right. How about you, Claudia? Are you working on anything?
Just Claudia. Well, I'm working on everything but that, as a matter of fact, but I do plan to do that. So, no, that's it. Nice to talk to you. That's really nice. Makes you think about where you really are.
This is a treat because I've wanted to get the Bushmans on. I've been doing this for 6 years, and finally I'm so glad to have you on. So This is such a treat for me, so I really appreciate that.
It's good to get to know you, Rick. I'm pleased you asked. Has to be important.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here on Gospel Tangents. I really appreciate it.
Okay. Bye-bye.
I hope you enjoyed our conversation with Drs. Richard and Claudia Bushman. Richard and Claudia, thank you so much for sitting down with me. I can't wait to see you at the Mormon History Conference. By the way, it's June 2nd through 5th. Go to MormonHistoryAssociation.org and you can sign up today. Remember, early bird pricing ends May 16th, but you can still sign up after that. It's going to be in Logan, Utah. I will be there, Steve Pineacre will be there, and all of your favorite historians, including Richard and Claudia Bushman, Sally Gordon, lots of other amazing people, Christopher Blythe, I'm sure, it's Paul Reeve, like, it's a who's who of the best. Matt Harris, I'm sure, will be there. So you do not want to miss this conversation and the conference. And so please sign up today, and I'll see you in Logan. In our next conversation, I'm excited to introduce Stephen LeSueur. He's the author of the 1838 Mormon-Missouri War, and we're going to get more acquainted with him.
Let's see, it was published in 1987, so quite a while ago, by the University of Missouri Press. Mm-hmm. And basically, it's based on my master's thesis, which I wrote at George Mason University here in Virginia. And so after I finished the thesis in my master's program, I expanded the thesis into the book. And the University of Missouri Press was nice enough to want to publish it.
If you'd like to hear the entire interview uncut, please subscribe to patreon.com/gospeltangents for just $5 a month. Patreon is spelled patreon.com/gospeltangents. If you'd like to watch the entire video, you can subscribe at YouTube, Patreon, or on my website at gospeltangents.com and click the yellow subscribe button for just $8 a month. PDF transcripts are just $10 a month, and you can get those on patreon.com/gospeltangents or on my website. I'll send those to you as soon as I've finished completing it. If you'd like to get a paperback and PDF, just subscribe for $20 a month at either Patreon or on my website. Individual paperbacks are available at Amazon.com. Just do a search for Gospel Tangents Interview, and you can find all of our past interviews there. Show your Gospel Tangents pride by purchasing a t-shirt on our website at gospeltangents.com/shop. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts at tinyurl.com/gospeltangents. You can get our latest updates by friending me at Facebook, or you can also follow our page at facebook.com/gospeltangents. Become an insider and you can see the newest videos. Follow us on Twitter at Gospel Tangents. Click here to subscribe, here for a transcript, and over here we've got some of our great videos. Thanks again.